All right, tonight we got a real special guest. I mean, if you've been around the walleye world over the last 8 or 10 years, you know who Dylan Nussbaum is. He's going to come on the show tonight, talk to us about a bunch of different things. We're all going to learn something, and yeah, let's get it cracking. Dylan, how's it going, man?
Good. About yourself?
Good, real good. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. What are you up to these days?
Man, just working and fishing. That's all there is. The family too. You can't leave them out. Got to have a lot of family time too.
Yeah, you just got married, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, yep. Married now. Yeah, it's been a busy summer.
Heck yeah. Fishing a lot of tournaments?
Yeah, no, fishing a lot of tournaments. Not a ton of local stuff this year, but NWTs, MWC. We fished a Michigan Walleye Tour, NTC. Hitting all the big stuff, but a lot of the local stuff kind of slowed down on this year. Just family and kind of building the house right now. So it's a lot, and hopefully next year I can get back to a lot of local stuff.
Heck yeah. No, you've had a great year, man. We're pumped to have you on. It's good to see you, really challenging everybody out there. So why don't you tell us about your upbringing, where you grew up, where you live?
Yeah, from St. Mary's, Pennsylvania, and kind of grew up here. Not really even walleye fishing a whole lot, but for some reason my dad and I just got into it when I was like, I guess when I was probably like 9, and we started getting into tournament fishing right around when I was 10. And yeah, we learned walleye fishing together, started fishing tournaments, and never looked back. Real quick turned into a tournament every single weekend of spring, summer, fall time. And yeah, now fishing the NWT full time. Kind of a dream come true.
Yeah. You fish quite a few tournaments with your dad still, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. As many as I can.
Yeah, I see that. I see that you posting stuff about you and Pops getting out there. That's really cool. It's just nice that you have a dad that's passionate about it too.
Oh yeah. He's got a lot of passion for the sport, and it's a lot of fun fishing together, fishing them events, and especially the bigger tournaments too. That gets into, just bigger tournaments, higher stakes, more exciting, and you couldn't ask for a better partner.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you let's go back to 2018 Devil's Lake. I mean, it was a huge win. Obviously, you were super young at the time and really went out there. Did you take some of your tactics from back east and apply them to Devil's Lake, or what was your method out there? You were cranking, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, going into that NWT season, 2018 season, I honestly really only wanted to go to fish that Devil's Lake event, and I was only going to do that, and then just kind of one thing turned into the next, and then kind of got talked into just fishing the full season, because honestly, what did I have to lose at that point? Like I was 20 years old, and I had a great job, and they said I could come back and work whenever. So it was kind of a deal where I didn't have anything to lose, so why wouldn't I go fish the full season? And I'm glad I did, because that Devil's Lake tournament was a huge player for me, obviously. I mean, I wouldn't be here without that. But growing up here in Pennsylvania, we fished reservoirs. That's pretty much what we had to fish. I mean, Lake Erie, we didn't start fishing Lake Erie for quite a long time. And reservoir fishing is one of the best ways to learn how to walleye fish, because it's so difficult. There's so many different ways you can do it, and the fish just change so much. So honestly, that's kind of what prepared me. If I didn't grow up fishing a reservoir like that, I mean, I would have definitely struggled a lot more. Sure. Reservoirs definitely prepare you for tough bites and fish moving.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's about when I started following, was right when you won. And I mean, like, honestly, like a few months before that, and I was like, this young kid comes on here and dominates. And so then the tactics back then, like you said, the tactics you took basically out there to try to get these fish to go, they worked. And what are your thoughts? Let's go full circle 8 years later, right? It's completely changed, right? Like there's just nothing the same these days. What are your thoughts on that? Do you ever wish it was back pre-live scope?
Like that's kind of a tough one for me, because I do and I don't. Like, obviously I've excelled with the forward-facing sonar, and not that I did bad without it. It's just like definitely excelling now. Mm-hmm. Do I miss pulling lead core, bottom balancers, blind casting? Like, yeah, I definitely do. Yeah. And it's one of them deals where I don't want to say you can't do that for a tournament, because you could definitely win a tournament doing that 100%.
Sure.
It's just not the most effective way to go about it anymore. Can you catch a ton of fish doing it? Can you go out there every day and catch fish trolling? Absolutely. Can you win a tournament doing that? Absolutely. It's just, with how we do it now, you got to go with the best possible way to do it, and forward-facing sonar is the answer right now.
Do you ever force yourself to leave them off and go fish old school with bottom bouncers or cranks, just like when you're fun fishing? Or
honestly, I mean, fun fishing, I would like to lie and say yeah, but I really don't. Like, if my boat goes on the water, I'm full out tournament mode. Like, there's no relaxing day on the water anymore. If I go out for a day of fun fishing, it's full out tournament mode, no matter what. Like, I got to go out there and make them bite. I don't know why. It's just how I am.
Sure. Yeah, we've got, it's funny. I asked you that because I just got into live scope on a boat 2 years ago. And ever since then, it's been, I have zero interest really in pulling bottom bouncers or cranks. And we've got this buddy weekend we have every year on Labor Day. And one of my buddies, he loves bottom bouncing, and it's his birthday. And he's like, dude, I don't want a live scope at all. I want to just pull bottom bouncers and drown crawlers. And I'm like, dude, it's your birthday, so we'll do whatever you want. So I'm thinking we'll limit out, and then we'll go chase bigs with live scope. You know what I mean? We'll limit out on slots. And but there's something back at the Gov Cup, we did pull bottom bouncers though, and it was productive. And I was like, man, I can't lose track of how productive this can be. It's just, you can't target the size of fish you want, obviously. No, it definitely has its time and place. Just like at Oahe this year, having a co-angler in the back pulling bottom bouncers while we're drifting down a break line at a mile an hour. Yeah. You definitely should be pulling something behind the boat in a situation like that. I mean, it paid off for me on day one. We caught a 9-pounder on a bottom bouncer out of the back of the boat, like fishing a break line where they were so tight to bottom. It was so windy, I couldn't slow down. So obviously situations like that work out really well to have something like a bottom bouncer behind the boat. Yeah, absolutely. So then, you win Devil's Lake, kind of, average results after that, so to speak. Right. And then 2021 comes along and you're about to call her quits.
Yeah. I believe it was 2021. It was actually going to an Oahe event, and I mean, just money was getting tight. Tournament finishes weren't the greatest. Like, I was cashing a check in here and there, but like, it's a lot of money and time to fish the National Walleye Tour. And it was kind of at a point where I was like, do I keep going? Or I mean, really, like, what am I doing here? And then, like, just talking with my parents, and they're both kind of like, you at least have to figure out how to fish this last one. Like, you have to go and fish the last one. And I did. And I was really glad I did. Walked away with a 5th place at that one. And it kind of reset my mind. That was the last tournament of the season for me. I didn't make it to the championship that year, and kind of just reset over the winter time and got back into it. And then after that, it was like, just something clicked, and it was just check after check after check, top 10, top 5, top 3s. Like, it was just happening after that, and kept me in it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's great. There's a lot, people can take that as a life lesson with a lot of things. If you're passionate about something, usually you'll find a way to do it. Sometimes it takes a little luck, hard work, determination, but it's good that you're still out there, and that saved your career in this walleye game. So for sure. So then, the last few years have been good for you. This year, of course, the big news, well, one of the big news besides you getting married is tour level gold. They've added you to the cast of that.
Yeah. No, I was really excited for that. I mean, we've been talking the past couple of years about it, and this was the year, and I was pumped to get that phone call. And I mean, that's one of the best shows in the game. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. What they do is truly amazing. The amount of time they put into that, like, it's insane. No one really realizes how many hours go into making just one of them episodes, and they are just a piece of art. So I was really excited to get in on that.
Yeah, it's good to see you on there. You touched on it, but the cinematography on that show is just top notch. There's a lot of good, like, hunting show productions out there, but as far as in the walleye world, there's just nothing better. the B-roll and the shots they get and the stories. And I mean, it's just, there's a lot of people that aren't even walleye fishermen that I know that watch Tour Level Gold. My fiance loves watching it with me, and she's, you know, she likes fishing here and there, but she's like, oh, new TLG's out, huh? I'm like, yep. All right, let's watch it. So it's just really cool. It's cool.
Man, I couldn't imagine like just sitting there at the computer editing all of that, just the little tiny just B-roll they put in. Just, I mean, it's just amazing shots that they do, and I give them a lot of credit. I could never do it.
No, it's, I mean, it's definitely an art. I got a chance to meet one of the guys, one of the cameramen who was following Owen around at Oahe, and super nice guy. But, you know, the one thing was that I was like, man, your guys' cinematography is just top notch. So I actually, years ago, I got to film a hunting show for a couple of seasons, and just a local hunting show. It was on national TV, but either way. And I was just like, I'm happy I got the shot. Like, I'm just happy that I saw the animal get shot, and it's on camera, and I had the record button pushed, and we're good to go. So putting the B-roll in there is definitely something that's takes it to another level for sure. So your season this year, you know, started out really good. Oahe, I mean, smashed it. The live with that was your PB, was it? Or was it close?
No, it actually wasn't. I thought it was going to be, though. I mean, you get a 12-pounder in the boat, 32-incher tournament day. Yeah, it looks a little bigger than normal. I mean, any 12-pounder looks giant, but yeah. Holy man, tournament day, that thing looked like a dinosaur, and it was. I mean, it was a 12-pounder. So, yeah. I mean, it was an absolute monster. But yeah, that was awesome.
That footage was awesome too. Like, I've watched it a few times since, because I think I know where I fish Oahe a ton, and I think I know where you were, you know, and I'm like, man, that bite was really freaking tough on the bigs. I mean, it was just the weather was crap. And what was your mindset going into that? How was your pre-fish for Oahe?
Honestly, it sucked. Like, I mean, we were catching some giants here and there, and it was just kind of all over the place. But the one thing I did pick up on, like, I spent a lot of time up north, and I was trying to just like figure out like an area just where I could go and possibly see some or try to pattern some or anything. And it just didn't work out for the pre-fish. Like, I mean, I caught big fish, but it wasn't anything crazy. And honestly, going into that one, my teammates were catching some big ones down south, and they would catch a few more than I was catching up north. And I just made the decision, I'm going south tournament day. And yeah. I didn't go pre-fishing down there once. And yeah. I knew the general area where they were catching some big ones, and there was small fish down there. There was good slots down that way. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to catch small fish first, and then I'll spend the rest of the day catching big ones, or trying to catch big ones, not catching big ones, just trying to catch big ones. Yeah. And day one, it worked out really well.
Yeah. Yeah, you put up 28 something on day one, didn't you?
Yeah. Day one was good. It was good. But we only had, I guess I did have 3 big ones on, and I think I threw back 3 smaller overs. And so, I mean, it was definitely a good day one, but day two, it was like, as soon as I threw the trolling motor in the water, day two, I'm like, this is probably going to suck. Yeah. And it just, a lot changed. There was bait everywhere. Like, fish weren't up anymore. I'm like, I don't know what happened overnight, but it ain't good.
Yeah. Yeah. That wind, I mean, you know, it was southeast the whole tournament. Well, both days, but that second day really just got bad. I know I weighed before you, and then, you know, everyone I talked to, I had a few buddies that fished it, and talked to a couple of the guys, and, you know, there's a real chance of blanking this tournament. I felt that way. A lot of people did. And then you come in with 28, and I'm like, dude, this is not good. You know, it's just like, these guys are just so good. And Bo was right there too. And
oh yeah,
that's what separates the men from the boys in those situations for sure.
Man, I wasn't expecting that many 5-fish limits, though. I mean, I wasn't expecting everyone to bring 12 pounds. I was thinking if you brought a limit, like, it was going to be a pretty good day for you. And I don't know, just apparently everyone was able to catch them smaller fish. I mean, there was a lot right there by the ramp, a lot of decent size unders that were there. And I mean, smaller overs too, to get you up to that 12, 13, 14 pounds. But yeah, like, I just wasn't expecting that, especially day two, when the bite even got more tough and everyone still brought them. But yeah, it was that was a weird tournament.
Yeah, it was. That's a really bad time out there. I think hopefully they learned something from that. Maybe they don't care, you know, but I went back, told this story, but I went back 3 days after, because that was a Tuesday, Wednesday tournament, right? Or Wednesday, Thursday. Either way.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday. I went back the following Monday, and it was just lit up on fire. I mean, you couldn't do anything wrong. Those fish were so pissed. But so a week later, and that tournament's completely different for sure.
Oh yeah. Well, we went out the day after the tournament for like a tour level gold tournament with one of their sponsors, and Dewey had 23 pounds. We only had 4 fish, 2 overs, 2 unders. Dewey had 23 pounds and I had 24 pounds. I'm like, dude, why couldn't we do this yesterday?
Yeah.
And that was just with 4 fish too. But man, it was like on fire. We were only out for, I think it was 8-2. And I think we had like 5 overs and we had some beautiful unders. I'm like, this is sweet. I'm like, this would have been nice yesterday.
Yeah. And they pushed that tournament up. It was a Wednesday, Thursday because of something. I think there was Memorial Day. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Oh well. So now let's talk. Equipment's changed a lot, right? Like everybody talks about live scope, trolling motors, batteries. You're wearing the AmpTat. They're awesome batteries. One of the things that you've done to help stabilize the boats, right, is come out with the surge purge, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to maybe run through what a surge purge is, what it does, and how you kind of, arrived on that design, that'd be cool for our listeners out there that maybe aren't aware of what they are.
Yeah, no, for sure. The surge purge is pretty much just an attachment that you put onto your power pole, and it's really basically just there to help keep the bow of the boat in the water more, take the rock out of the boat so much from side to side. And I kind of just came up with the idea. I think it was the Oscoda tournament, the championship for the NWT. We were out there and I don't even know how big the waves were, but it was terrible. I'm just bouncing around. There's like no walleyes on the screen for like hours at a time. And I'm like, just thinking of ideas. I'm like, why don't we just take a drift paddle and flip it around? So then I don't have to bounce up and down in the waves so much.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just pretty much went home and cut one out and went out and tested it out on Erie. And as soon as I put it down, I'm like, all right, yeah, this is legit. Like, this is going to work.
Yeah.
And after that, made, I don't know, maybe 4 designs of it. And then me and Drake Hurd with Fin Gear, we kind of decided on the last one and said this is what it's going to be. And yeah, no, it's going good. And they worked pretty amazing. And I was very impressed with that. I was very happy with how they turned out.
Yeah. I put some on mine, and I did notice right away. I mean, I've heard them described, and maybe you can correct me if this is wrong, but I've heard them described as like the idea of taking like a dinner plate, putting it upside down, putting it in the water, and trying to lift it out of the water.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same idea, right? Like, there's just so much. It does so much as far as like I don't know what the right term is, but suction's not right.
Just the resistance alone from them, it just slows everything down so much. I mean, before your boat, the bow would just slap in the water so hard, and you don't get that slap anymore. I mean, it's kind of to eliminate that slap, to not spook as many fish and keep your trolling motor in the water as much as possible. And the other thing that I was talking about, just when you're sideways in a wave, like live scopers know, when you get into waves and you're troughing them, you're just like getting thrown out of the boat.
Yep.
When you have them on your power poles, drop them down, it just drastically reduces that.
Levels it out for sure. Yeah, no, they're awesome. It's good. You look at all the stuff we can put on our boats, and some of it's gimmicky, some of it doesn't work, but those definitely do. They do improve it. They improve success out in the water, which is the most important thing. So thanks for coming out with those. They haven't helped me catch any fish, but they may be more comfortable catching fish.
Yeah, no, comfort's key out there when you're in 2, 3, 4 footers.
Yeah, absolutely. So we talked about Oahe. Let's bust into the championship. We talked before the show a little bit that you're looking at heading out there in a couple of days. You're sitting in 5th, right? 5th for Angler of the Year.
Yep. Yeah, no, I'm excited to get out there. I mean, Angler of the Year is definitely out for me. I don't even mathematically, I don't think I can make it in, but to win it anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Sakakawea is a fun place. I've had some really good success out there, and we got some pretty cool boundaries. I don't know. I mean, you could love it or hate it, but I kind of like that we're only got, I don't even know what it is, maybe 20 some miles of the lake that we can fish. So
It's not
I think
much.
it's going to be kind of cool and be a little bit of a challenge to try to find something different than what everyone else is going to find.
Yeah, it should be a good time of year. I've never fished it, but it seems like everything on like Oahe, which is obviously further south, but it doesn't doesn't necessarily relate to Sac, but it seems like everyone I've talked to or heard talking about Sac says it's really starting to turn up. So should be good there.
Yeah, no, I like it. And we got a, what is it, 5 fish limit, no calling. So there's going to be some gambling in there. And I like that. I like that. I don't know. It kind of bit me at the last one there, but I don't know. The gambling definitely makes it a little bit more exciting.
Yeah, decisions, right? Absolutely. All right, so something that's big too. You've had a lot of big stuff go on. Surge purges, the wedding, great year on tour, but Walleye Academy. So let's spend some time talking about that. You just came out with that like a month ago, announced it officially. But I want you to dive into that and tell us everything that offers, fishermen.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, the Walleye Academy, I just kind of designed it as a learning platform. So you guys can pretty much go on there. And what my main goal is to do every kind of different technique for catching walleyes. I want to do a lot of rigging videos so you can learn how to rig your own boats so you don't have to take your stuff to a dealer and get charged $150 an hour to get this stuff done. And really just kind of just teach everything about walleye fishing. And it's something that is tough to do. Like, you, as tournament anglers, like, we all kind of have our deals where we have like our little secrets or stuff we just don't give up. Like, we give up a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm always 100% honest with anything I put out there. Like, if I say I'm doing it, that's what I'm doing. I'm not putting it out there for a sponsor or anything else. But there is a lot of little stuff that we leave out a lot of the times that really make the difference. And with the Walleye Academy, with it being a subscription-based kind of deal, like, if you're going to pay for it, then I'm giving it all up. Like, I'm giving up all them little details, and that I think that's what it's about. That's really what you're paying for. You're getting all them little details and the stuff that you typically don't hear about. But there's a lot to build on. This is just the start of it. There's just weekly uploads, doing videos on different techniques, rigging. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit of everything, and it's going to be all the good juice.
Yeah, absolutely. That rigging, we talked about that a little bit, but your rigging videos that you're putting on social media, I watched them and I was like, man, that helps a lot of people. Just like you said, I mean, there's folks that just drop their boat off at a dealer and they don't care if it costs, like we were talking 80, 90 hours of rigging time in one of these boats that's fully decked out. They don't care if that costs $10,000 or $5,000, but 99% of the population cannot afford to do that. They can't.
No, you just spend all of this money on electronics, a boat, and then you get slapped in the face with a huge bill for just rigging, just running all the wires and doing all this stuff, drilling holes. Like, guys are scared to drill holes in their boat, and it's not that scary. It's not bad. Once you do it once, then it's just like, start drilling.
Yeah. I mean, on the other end of the spectrum, you got dealers that charge what they charge to do, and it's understandable why, it costs that much to do it, because, they're the ones taking the risk. They're the ones that are warranting the work. But it also takes, like you said, would you have 80 or 90 hours in rigging your boat? And you're a guy that's done it. So it's not like it's your first time doing this stuff, right? You're good at it. So when a dealer takes on that risk and drilling into the gel coat or drilling into the dash or, wiring batteries or clean any of that stuff, it definitely makes sense. It's not just as simple as, I'm going to buy this boat, I'm going to put 5 graphs, 3 deucers on it, power poles, power brakes, and switch out the trolling motor, and I want you to include it in the price. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you're saying, I don't know if we can do that,
Yeah. No, I mean, on the dealership side, 100%. Like, if I'm rigging up someone else's boat, I'd be charging $150 an hour for it. There ain't no doubt about it. Yeah. Like, it's a job to do for sure. And there's a lot of stuff you have to know. Like, you definitely have to be mechanically inclined to just go through and start tearing all the stuff out of the boat, all the wires, start drilling holes, and then just kind of making it your own. Like,
yeah,
there is a lot of risk involved, but at the same time, if you know what you're doing, you take your time, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. And I think most of the time when you're like I said, I helped a buddy rig mine, and, you know, you almost need two people at times, you know, just to fish some of those wires up there. It can be, you know, four arms, you know, to get some stuff around the dash or through compartments.
Oh, yeah.
But there's so much. The one thing I didn't realize is there's so much for other electronics that are like, you know, NEMA network's pretty basic, right? But when you have the modules that communicate with the motor to convert to translator to go to Garmin, and then you got all these like wires coming off the main motor coming under the dash. I mean, you could mess stuff up pretty easy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, you definitely have to be careful. Like there is so much going on in there. But again, take your time, and it's not terrible, but you do have to be careful.
Yeah, for sure. So Walleye Academy is going to include that, tips and tactics for rigging. Are you going to get into like techniques for actual, you know, chasing walleye, live scope use, any of that?
Yep, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, forward facing sonar is going to be a huge one on there. Definitely working on getting some more equipment so I can get all of the real good juice of how to get these walleyes to go, how to trigger them. Like that's the stuff everyone really wants to see. You want to see the screen, how the fish is reacting, what you're doing to make them react. And that's currently what I'm working on now. Also trying to find just a camera guide to assist with that also. So I want to get all of the good juice of how to trigger these walleyes. Like that's what everyone wants to know. That's what they want to know how to do. But also I don't want to forget about all the guys who still troll, bottom bounce, jig, who don't have forward facing sonar. So I want to do full breakdowns of each one of them. And it's going to be kind of like when you go on there now, you're going to start to see a lot of the basics. So that's rod, reel, line, baits, all of that stuff. But as we move forward, it's just going to keep building. So every week we're going to just add a video on, add 3, 2, 4, whatever it's going to be onto each topic, just so it can keep building and steadily grow. So you can kind of just keep track. So I'm trying to do a bunch of different topics, keep everyone interested, and then just kind of rotate around, keep adding in on them videos.
Yeah. I think that's good. You hit on the, you know, now with live scope, forward facing sonar, you can find the fish, you know, it's not that hard to find the fish, but getting them to go that's really where it's at. You know,
oh yeah, that's the fun part. That's the real fun part.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, cool. So then another thing that we try to cover with every guest is tips for listeners. Just maybe one thing or a couple of things that you can tell the audience that you feel would make them better anglers.
Oh man, that's a tough one. I would say to be a better angler, honestly, it's probably just time. Like time is so big. Like if you're going to do something, like if you want to go all in on tournament fishing, whatever it is, like it's so hard to replace time on the water. Yeah. Like, yes, the Walleye Academy is going to be like the go-to place for learning all this stuff. And yes, you need to know that stuff. But once you get on the water and actually start getting a lot of time in on the water, that's where it really starts to pay off. Like you need to know the basics before you get out onto the water. Then once you're on the water and you start getting on fish, you start paying attention to, especially if you're using forward-facing sonar, start paying attention to every little detail. Like what did you do to get that fish to go? What were you using to get that fish to go? Like, did that fish care what you threw at it? Did you throw another bait at it and went after that bait? Like paying attention to all the small details, time on the water is a tough thing to beat in this game.
Yeah, there's really no substitute for experience. That seems like, I think a few of our guests have said the same thing. You know, time on the water is where it really comes. You know, you can't really tell someone, oh, you know, downsize your leader or, you know, go to a 7 jig and wrap instead of a 9, or you just can't, you know, it's not going to work all the time.
Yeah. I mean, just the amount of like mental notes I have, like the amount of rods that I have on the deck, like if I grab a jigging wrap, throw it at it, and just by how that fish reacts, I'll like instantly know whether I can reel that thing up and get it away from it, or if I can take it down to the bottom, or if I can get that thing, work it up, or if I should just get rid of that thing, grab another bait and chuck it at it. Like usually I can tell instantly if I throw a jigging wrap and it doesn't go after it. Like I can tell by how that fish reacts whether I got to pick up a set of jerk shads or a jig and a crawler and chuck it at it. Like it's kind of just one of them deals where time on the water does pay off in that aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. So now next year, obviously plans are to continue fishing NWT.
Yeah. Yep. Continue fishing the NWT, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what the NWT bring next year. They're talking about some big changes. I mean, it's a qualifier only, so, or I guess invite only, but
yeah,
it's going to be cool to see what they do. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, there's so what did they increased it to 50, right? Is that what they did? Top 50 from this season?
I think we're at like 80 now. I don't even know, but I think we're at like 80 or something like that. We'll see by the time next year rolls around.
Yeah, I thought it was something like that, and then there's like NTC, MWC, and then there was a little line at the bottom that said, NWT reserves the right to invite whoever they want.
Yeah, kind of. That's also how I interpreted it, but also at the same time, with it being like the first time to qualify in for it, like obviously you can't leave out some of the legends. Like if like Corey Springle didn't make it in for some crazy reason, like there's no way you could not have the NWT without Corey Springle, or like John Hoyer. Like you would have to include them guys in on the initial year, like full time, like very well known guys. I feel like would have to be put in there. And then maybe if they don't qualify after that, then that's a different story. But for the initial run, like you got to have the top guys in on the NWT. So I guess I could see why they would put that in.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think, no matter what, obviously there was going to be some of those guys that are cornerstones of the tour that didn't qualify based on those, the criteria. So it makes sense they'd want them there. They're a big draw. They got great fan bases, and they're just in general good dudes. So it seems like
for sure. I mean, you'd have to have them. You got to have them in it.
Yeah, for sure. That's your CNC machine back there. I think we talked about that you make.
Yeah. Yep. That's the one that makes the surge purges there.
That's great. So is that what you do full time?
Yeah, I guess so. Along with fishing and this, and just a lot of stuff going on. Do a little bit of everything.
I suppose you can't clock in and clock out like a normal person can. You just
no. There's no clocking in and clocking out here. It's just if I got something to do, I'll be here. It doesn't matter at the time.
Yeah, heck yeah. Well, cool, man. That covers about everything. A lot of information. Glad to see you doing well. We're definitely rooting for you moving forward, and we'll be watching here in 2 weeks to see how SAC treats you.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Hopefully we can find a bunch of 6 and 7 pounders.
Yeah, absolutely.
That might be a little tall order, but yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, they're there. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it.
Heck yeah. Well, thanks for jumping on with us, man. Appreciate it. Congratulations again on the wedding and everything else you got going in life.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
See ya.